Alright guys, welcome to another episode of Biking 101, and this is going to be on most important maintenance and what to keep your eye on and take best care of on your bike. So let's get started. Alright, first is going to be your gears, your gear system, your derailleur, main gears, all that stuff. That is one of your most important. It's what makes you go, what makes you, propel your bike forward. So what you're going to need to do is always, keep it greased up, adjustments corrected. Try not to land on these like I have. I've destroyed them. The top one's completely bent, so I have to get a new one of those, which sucks. I'm just going to get a new bike. But I have, in last video, my friend Brian had talked to the Shimano, I think that's how you pronounce it, gear system. I have that exact system for brakes and all the gearing and all that. It's great stuff, but it doesn't last very long. For the time that you do have it, start new, works great, but I would not recommend it for what we do as, downhill, extreme, getting muddy, water, everything. This is kind of like just, a normal cruiser, just around the block type of deal. So always keep this maintained. What I would do is get some degreaser and completely degrease all of this and then re-grease it with some new grease, so it's nice and smooth and keeps it running nice and well. And always keep your brakes and stuff like that adjusted. And on to step 2. Alright guys, back with step 2, and for second, it's the most important is suspension. Let's see, I have ground force shocks. They really do work very well, but they do not have very much travel. That's about like 3.5 inches, I would say, and they tend to seize up a lot and not to work very well. But for this bike and its type of frame, it's actually working really well for me. It's better than not having any suspension at all. But if you were into downhill mountain biking and the extreme stuff or the challenging terrain, I would recommend Rock Shocks, Fox Shocks. Those are two of the main brands. Just really like a good amount of travel, some great springs, great oil, great seals to where they won't leak. They're not just spring, they're like, say like a real car. Let's say they have springs like that and shocks like that for a bike. I would definitely recommend that kind of stuff for extreme biking. But for what we do right now is not up in the mountains, just around Extreme Creek areas. This is actually pretty good. It's just okay. But yeah, but that works. It works really well, and I would definitely, just maintain that. Keep it oiled, WD-40. I'm not sure if that's the correct way to do it or not, but it's what works best for me. And always keep a good eye on that. And on to what is most important to keep an eye on your bike and to pay attention to. Alright, welcome back. Let's see, what to keep your eye mostly on when you're riding is brakes, tires and brakes. So tires, I have Kenwood tires, not Kenwood, what did I just say? WTB tires. They're more of a steering tread, like an arrow tread in the front, and then you got more of a paddle tire in the back to get more of a grip. This is more of a steering. But I have tires that would be used on downhill professional mountain biking. They were actually pretty pricey, around $30 a tire, $60 both together, because they're both the same size. I have a 26-inch rim. Depending on what rim size you have, it'll depend on the cost and actually the brand also. But your frame, This is a downhill frame, but it has a hardtail. Otherwise it would have the whole system with the shock right about in the middle frame, right about here. And it would push this rear bar into a suspension system that would compress together. But the hardtail, it kind of sucks, but it's good for, kind of like a BMX kind of freestyle type of ride, but not for downhill or any extreme stuff. Get full suspension, but it's a pretty good frame, especially for how long I've had it. It's held up really well, and it's a good bike. But let's see, brakes, most important thing, one of the most critical thing to have on your bike, because if you're going downhill and your brakes go out on you, what's going to happen next? You're going to hit a tree, you're going to crash, it's going to be really bad. You always want to make sure you have new brake pads, especially before an extreme run. You want to check it, you want to check the brake wire, you want to check everything, the levers, the gears, you want to check it all, make sure it's running perfect before you do anything extreme. But tires, rims, I have just plain black steel rims, but they're not, I have bent the back one just a tiny bit, so it's kind of off. I had landed really hard on a rock off of, I think, a 3.5 jump, so these aren't, I thought they would hold up, but apparently they didn't. And let's see, well, always, I think I'm going to wrap this up here, always keep your bike clean. It's a very important part. Keep it clean, greased up, tires at the right PSI, pressure. Always keep the tires aligned, shocks running good, brakes, gears, everything running perfect. But that will get you the best, performance out of your bike, and your best comfort, and best quality, and have fun with it. But there will most likely be more videos. Check out my other channel, Awesome RC Adventures, and my friend's channel. I will have a link in the description because I do not remember the name, and I'm sorry about that, Brian, but go check out his channel when you see it in the description. It's military and all that stuff. It's good stuff. But always keep your bike clean, so just have fun with it, I've said clean too much, but that'll wrap up Biking 101 Part 2, and there will most likely be a Part 3 with both bikers and what they have on their personal bikes, and what bikes we would recommend, what parts and everything we would recommend. So look forward to that, and I guess this will be on to Part 3.